We're gonna. He's had, obviously, you saw he had the lower leg injury. He will get an MRI either tonight or tomorrow morning, and we'll know more.
Can you talk about the luxury it is to have a three-point specialist like Jody Meese on the bench, and how you plan on utilizing him throughout the season?
Yeah, I mean he is a elite three-point shooter. He's been that his entire career. Hopefully he doesn't change the way we play, but he hasn't. Every day in practice, every time I throw him on the court in the preseason games, he's been a factor. He produces. He's one of the best three-point shooters in the league.
Did Sheldon's injury affect your decision to send starters back out on the court?
No, I changed my mind right before the game. Looking at their starters and their team, they set out 9 of their top, 9 players maybe. So that just changed the way we wanted to get just at least one good segment out of our starters. Going into today, I wanted 2, but after their lineup, I just decided to just go with 1.
Coach, Kelly seemed to do some good things on both sides of the floor in the second half.
Yeah, he's improving right in front of our eyes, so that's good. He's a great worker. He's active on the defensive end. He's making shots. His right-hand finishes are much better than in past. You usually, last year you can play him, make him dribble to his right hand, but he's worked on it. It's improved. It's something he's worked on last season and this summer.
We saw you go with Meeks, John, and Brad at the same time, 3-guard lineup. What did you see from that, and you think could that be the option? Meeks at the 3, I guess, if you have to have the.
Yeah, we definitely will use that lineup throughout the season. I mean, not every team is doing that with 3 guards. You get 3-point shooters on the floor with Brad and Jody, and then you have John's ability to make the defense, make some tough decisions with his speed and quickness and his ability to finish around the paint. So we have a lot of different guys that we like to throw out there. We feel like they can all play with one another.
Scott, you mentioned because Cleveland sat as many guys as they did, that led to some decisions with your guys. Porzingis didn't play the last game. First game was against the non-NBA team. Are there any, maybe frustration too strong of a word, but a little bit of that of just like that you haven't had a chance to go up against another starting lineup?
No, I mean I don't worry about what other teams are doing in preseason. Everybody has their decisions to make, and they're all making the decisions best for them. I'll probably sit one of our guys or 2 of our guys the next couple of games. So you really do it just to see different players get different opportunities. You want to give, like I said before, again, you want to give guys a chance to show what they can do to make the team. And we feel like we've been doing that. If it's not in the game, they have plenty of opportunities to play against our starters in practice. But I don't really worry about what the other teams are doing.
Coach, Felix had another strong performance. What exactly are you seeing for him that is allowing him to be effective on the court?
He plays with maximum effort. That is his strength. And he does it. I mean, you saw the last play. He contested the shot, and the game was pretty much over. That's how he plays. He has one way of playing. He has the play hard button, and he plays it and he uses it every game. He steps on the floor and he does the same thing in practice. Every practice he brings it. And he's given himself a good opportunity to make the team, and that's what you want all your players to do, and play hard. And to me, that's the easiest thing to do. And a lot of times in the league, it doesn't always seem to be the case. But that's the easiest thing to do, is to play hard. The hardest thing to do is play well.
How much did you know about him before he came on with you guys?
I did not know much about him at all. Not at all. But he's had a good September when he was here early, and he's having a good camp.
With starters playing limited minutes, does it make it any more difficult to figure out who's going to be the starting power forward when the season starts?
We're still experimenting. I didn't want to play Jason tonight because I wanted to see our smaller lineup start the game off. Don't know yet. We got a couple more games and a handful of practices to find that out.
Obviously, this was your preseason debut. How do you think things went for you?
It's cool, except for my turnovers. Other than that, I think I played pretty well. Careless turnovers, but other than that, I think I played pretty good.
Stop, a little bit out in the first
Yeah, I shot a layup. I don't want to talk about it, but yeah, it's awkward. You know, you feel something, you just it's one of them moments.
John, you seem to come back as explosive as ever. How does it feel to come into a season without, having injuries over the summer or having been rehab, a surgery?
It was great. I mean, first time in my career, so I dedicated my summer getting in the best shape possible and just putting in a lot of work into my game, and hopefully it pays off throughout the whole season.
John, what do you think the problem was with the defense in the first half, especially at 3-point defense?
Well, we gave up offensive rebounds, which they do a great job of that, and then we was just we missed shots. They was getting out of transition, and we was over helping too much. And they was able to knock down shots. They got a lot of shooters out there, so they spaced the floor.
From what you've seen of Mike Scott so far, training camp for the season, what type of impact do you think that?
Great. Another person that can spread the floor, shoot the ball. Good thing is that they switch it and put Smalls against him. He can score on the post. He showed that, and it's just his toughness. He got down for nobody, and it's something that we need on our team.
Did you notice, Kelly, more maturity in the offseason, working more on his offensive game? Because he mentioned that he was motivated by not getting a single minute during Game 7 against Boston.
Yeah, I think Kelly's got improved a lot better. When he changed his shot, he's making shots, he's making plays off the dribble, he's using his right hand, attacking the basket. All day we tell him to just keep it simple. When he keeps it simple, he does a great job. I think maybe one play he got out of control, but other than that, he was fine. And he brought the defense intensity that we needed in the brain. And he's definitely going to find ways to have a lot of minutes this season.
Can you talk about what you're seeing from Thomas when he gets in with the second unit and when he's running the point? It looks like he made a concerted effort this summer.
Well, I think he's just more comfortable. I think last year he was a little nervous trying to get adjusted to the speed of the game. Not used to it, it's kind of different. He got adjusted there. He's doing a great job of not worrying about the pressure. He's handling the ball. And like I told him, he looked for the coach to run the pass. I said, that's your team, run the team, and then we call your own plays, and he felt comfortable with it. I think after you get a year under your belt coming from overseas, it's a lot different. And he's more comfortable than he was last year, and he's going to help us out whenever he gets opportunity to play.
Was it tonight or the last 2 weeks, whether it's whether it's Jason Smith, Mike Scott, or Kelly as a 3 and Adams 4, have you guys at the starting unit looked better with one or the other end?
I can't really say this is my first time playing with him in the game. Practice I have, but we really ain't been going small too much when we scrimmage. Just kind of even Jason or Mike on one side. I think when we look at it last year, we were autos at the 4. We get out and run a lot more, can switch a lot more and space the floor, and to give us 4 guys that can put the ball on the floor. Not saying our 4-man can't, but it's a lot different having Mike or Jason or Keith there. But when auto's there, it's getting out in transition, rebounding, doing his little thing, help us out, and kind of put teams in a tougher bind. And either they're going to stay big or match up with our quickness. And 9 times out of 10, we're going to win that matchup.
John, it's able to figure out how to pace yourself to get ready for opening night, to try to get things done tonight, Sunday, and then the next couple of preseason games. So when the 16th roll, 18th rolls around, you're ready to go.
8 years in now, it's kind of easy breeze. You know what to do, you know what to expect. You try not to do too much, but you try to get something out of whatever minutes you play. I think that's something I figured out in the past. You probably try to go 110% early on. It's not that you don't take the game serious. You just try to pace your way and ease your way to get prepared for the opening night, knowing it's going to be big and have a lot of adrenaline rushing.
As a non-basketball question, how do you feel about Bradley Bill's edict to turn the nickname of Capital One into the Vault?
He's the leader of this team. He's another captain, so I'm rolling with him, whatever decision he makes.
You like the name?
Yeah, I'm rolling with it. The ball. Coming here, you walk into the ball. Get locked in.
What's going on, everybody? Another wonderful Tuesday here in studio, man. We truly enjoy each and every week. Thank you guys so much for joining us. More importantly, got Octavia White, got Cardell Dudley, I'm Wilson Tarface Jr. We got Dalmo over here off camera for you guys tuning in on social media. He's our gift guy. He takes care of that whole thing over there. Does an outstanding job on social media. That being said, man, we started the show with a presser from Scott Brooks.
Yep.
So Cardell, you've been put up a lot of content. We put up some content. we're taking a nice break from Wizards content over the past couple days or whatnot. But under 3-0 on the preseason, big injury to Sheldon Mack. If you want to talk about Sheldon Mack and what we thought he could, how we would fit into the picture this year, what Brooks has said, and then we can always tell them where they can find more information if they want to read a little bit more.
I mean, he was supposed to provide a nice scoring punch for him. Just a nice little, just added depth to that bench. Like I said, we've been saying for the longest, it's no secret that bench kind of, it was weak last year.
Yeah.
But with him having a year of experience, along with Tomas and the other young players and the veteran additions that they have, the bench should look much better. But that was supposed to be his role. He's a fearless player. He already think he could play with the best of them. He had that in his rookie year. Everybody saw the viral video where he was giving John Wall work in practice. So, he already had that, and just to see that, injury was heartbreaking because he spent the whole summer putting in work with Wall, getting ready, so he was ready to go. And I was rooting for him. I like his game, and now it's just back to the drawing board because not only is now can he prove that he needs to stick in the league, he has to prove that he can come back from this injury and stick in the league next time. So it's going to be twice as hard, but I know he got that dog in him, so he's going to be up for the challenge.
Yep, and, like you just wishing the kid a speedy recovery. I think the timetable was right now between 6 and 8 months.
Yep.
And then it's back to that grind of, like you said, trying to not only prove that you can make, that you're back, recover from the injury, but to make this team. As far as the team goes, their final 2 preseason games are played this week. Wednesday night in Miami, Friday night in New York. Then a couple days, and next week, Wednesday night, opening, that's opening night. That's opening week of the 2017-2018 NBA season. And we here at The Focus, we look forward to providing you guys with outstanding coverage all year long. So this Wizard segment is it won't always be this short. going on. But Octavia, the floor is yours. Oh, I'm so sorry. And a reminder, get over to findersmag.com, get over to mymountainsports.com for focused content as it pertains to the Washington Wizards this season. Octavia, the floor is now yours.
Great. So I'm going to keep this whole theme going. We're going to start from the bottom to the top. Start at the bottom because it's not too much to say.
Hey, look, the last 2 weeks, you
Your subliminal shots.
I'm just trying to stay in chronological order, start from the bottom.
I'm glad you're not a rapper. You be in so many battles.
All right, so we're going to start with the 0-5 Giants. They just came off of a loss to the Chargers, another 0-4 team at the time. They got their first win. They lost 27-22. It's not really much to talk about, at least the game aspect. It's more so some other things going on. If you haven't heard by now, you must live under a rock. Odell Beckham is out for the season with a broken ankle. What actually makes that even worse, if it can get worse, is Sheldon. I'm sorry, you said Sheldon. Now I'm saying Sheldon. Sterling Shepard also had an injury to the ankle. The good news with him is he's day-to-day. They expect him to play this week coming up. But they did also lose Brandon Marshall for the year, as well as Dwayne Harris. So they're very, 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 very thin at wide receiver. So it's going to be even more of a struggle for them to get it together. Obviously, their wide receivers aren't the issue really with what's going on. It's more so the defense and the offensive line trying to keep Eli Manning from being on the ground. They kind of want him upright instead of laying down. He was sacked 5 times against playing against the Chargers. So definitely something they need to get together. Manning ended up being 21-36. He threw for 225 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. He did have 2 fumbles as well. One of them he recovered, but he did lose the other one. So it's a lot going on in New York. It's over already for them. They might as well just start, getting ready for next year. And don't expect a win soon because they got a pretty strong schedule coming up. Of course, they play the Broncos next week, so that's going to be an L as well. On to the next. Third in the NFC East, you have Dallas Cowboys, who lost to the Packers 35-31. They have a bye next week, so it's probably coming at a good time for them as well because I think they need to recuperate as well. Dak, the offense actually wasn't bad. They actually produced well. Dak ended up being 25-36, 251 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Zeke, although he didn't get a touchdown this week, he had 29 carries for 116 yards. It seems like they're trying to get Dez back in the mix a lot, trying to start off by getting him the ball early. He ended up with, he was 5 of 8, 52 yards and 1 touchdown. Cole Beasley is basically kind of, being their go-to guy right now, it seems like. He had 2 touchdowns this past week. He was 4 of 6 on passes and 23 yards. But, yeah, the Cowboys also had a lot of turnovers this week as well. 3 turnovers, 2 fumbles. Witten and Travis Frederick fumbled. Of course, Dak threw the pick. But, defense couldn't really stop Aaron Rodgers in those. I mean, everybody knew when it was like a minute and 13 left, that was way too much time for Aaron, and obviously he proved it. So, it seems like Aaron is becoming what they call a cowboy killer all of a sudden. But, we'll see what happens. Third, not much to say. They coming off a bye, the Redskins, although I wish Dama was here last week so I could talk about it, but he was out here ducking that wreck, like your boy Lonzo out there. So, yeah, I said Alonzo ducking that wreck from De'Aaron. I'm just saying. So I'm just gonna go ahead to the top of the leaderboard. You got the Philadelphia Eagles. We're 4-1. We just came off of a great win against the Cardinals, 34-7.
Did y'all people already told the voice change for the Eagles?
Carson Wentz was 21-30, 304 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Blunt had 14 carries, 74 yards. The biggest story in this one was wide receivers were really showing up this game. Aguilar had a great catch and a juke at the end. That was probably one of the top plays this week, in my opinion. He ended up with 4 or 5 of catches, 93 yards, 1 touchdown. Torrey Smith finally got in there 3 or 4, 70 yards, 1 touchdown. Zach Ertz was 6 of 12 with 61 yards, and even Trey Burton got 2 of 2, 16 yards and 1 touchdown. One stat I looked at was 3rd down conversion. They're 70% this past game on their 3rd down conversions, and that's something that has not been done in Philadelphia in a long time. So everything is on the up and up. Kenyon Barner is showing why they picked him up after they lost Sproles. He's given us that 1-2 punch like Sproles would usually do if he wasn't injured. And the defense is holding up as well. Held the Cardinals to 31 rushing yards. I think it was about 220 in the air, which is probably why they picked up AP. Just saying.
Yeah, I saw that trade today.
But yeah, my biggest takeaway, Jake Elliott is still, he's proving me wrong week after week.
You cool with your kicker?
I'm cool with him now. It's cool. I understand.
You gotta think about kickers.
Exactly. And Wentz is starting to shine a little bit more. People are throwing out comparisons, whether they be true or not. I think I've heard Aaron, I've heard Ben, but it is what it is. It's only his 2nd year, so let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I got one. Carson.
I like that. But yeah, Aguilar is stepping up a lot for me too. I was really kind of sad when Jordan Matthews left because him and Wentz had a good connection. But to see Aguilar finally step up and make the transition to somebody that we actually really need on the team is a good thing. So we play the Panthers this Thursday. I'm actually really excited for that because I really feel like we're finally, not saying that none of the teams we played before were a test, but I feel like this is going to be a good test for us in the NFC. Kind of figure out, Cam's coming off of everything he's coming off of and on top of a win. So it's going to be interesting. So I will be glued in front of my TV Thursday night. Nobody text me, nobody tweet me. I won't hear it. Wow. And I'm done.
You good?
Drop the mic.
Segment over. Got it.
Kind of hostile today. Yeah.
Man, just
I'm in a kind of a good
But you know
mood,
what? I feel like that fits their division. Just her hostility overall during the segment.
Yeah, we don't like
it's
each
more
other.
than appropriate that y'all just don't get along.
Yeah, don't get along. Although I do wish Odell Beckham a speedy recovery. Everybody knows how hard he works, even though he's, they call him a drama queen. He cries, whatever you want to say. You can't deny his work ethic. So it's definitely, it definitely sucks for him, on a personal level. But, hopefully he'll be able to, I'm pretty sure he'll be able to get back his form, hopefully. But yeah, NFC East, never know what to expect.
Man, with the Giants, who look like they're on pace for like a top 5 pick, let's see if they finally get offensive linemen. Since they don't believe in drafting those at all.
Well, will they draft them then?
I mean, look, man, they took Eric Flowers on purpose, okay? So, if that's who you want to put your faith in as Giant fans, I don't know what to tell you. Real quick, DC United. I mean, nothing's really changed from last week, except this week is a game week. They will be traveling to Portland this Sunday to take on... again, to play Portland. Sorry, last name, the team name's going from my head right now. After that, they come back, and that's going to be a big week here in D.C. Whole lot of different events going on. It's the final game at RFK. It's the RFK send-off as it pertains to DC United's tenure there. The stadium is going to remain here DC, they're not knocking it down or whatever, but DC United's done. There it is. It's the curtain call for RFK, and they're going to be taking on one of their rivals, the New York Red Bulls, October 22nd. So we'll keep you posted with some content next week leading into that big week. I know they have fun things like the Legend Game, whole other type of activities that week as well. So we'll keep you posted on that as it goes. We're looking forward to talking with tonight's guest. You're watching The Focus. We're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll be talking to Coach Mike Seney. Like I said, man, you guys might want to tune in Twitter during the breaks because, man, fun times only. That's what happens here during the breaks. One day we'll let you guys sit in on them. But we're back. You're watching The Focus. We'd like to join Coach Mike Seney. Is that how you pronounce your last name, Coach?
Seney.
So sorry. Coach Mike Seney. How you doing tonight?
I can't complain. How you guys doing up there?
Doing real good.
We're doing great, man. We are grateful that you took the time to call in tonight. We know, the season's here, so we know you're busy. That being said, Cardell.
All right, Coach, 3 consecutive Maryland Juco championships, 2 consecutive Region 20 championship, and y'all had an NJCAA national tourney bid last year. What has been your philosophy throughout and to set up that foundation where y'all can have that type of success?
I've been so fortunate, man, to have so many good teams. Talent helps. Talent helps. But we do our job, man. We go out there and try to find the best players to fit our style, and our style is run and gun. And a lot of teams say that, but we literally train our girls that mentality. My favorite coach of all time is Mike D'Antoni. And I used to watch videos of him and how he would preach to his teams to shoot or score the ball in 7 seconds or less. We aim for 10 seconds or less. It's literally trained in their minds that we are going to run every chance we get. And we've been fortunate enough to have the players to do so. Last year, we led the nation in scoring at 99 points per game. We scored more points than UConn last year. We just train our girls that running is our best style, and we're pretty good at it.
Man. Hey, he's not lying. I've seen it up close and personal.
Oh, man.
So, one thing it's not just on the men's side, on the women's side. It's a lot of talent in the Maryland Juco that goes unnoticed. It doesn't get the pub that it, deserves. But there's a lot of diamonds in the rough that usually go on programs at the D1, D2, D3 level and become major factors. Why do you think the conference don't get the pub that it deserves?
I think it's starting to do a better job of it, of getting the recognition. We've been fortunate enough to make a name for ourselves. Baltimore City Community College is good as well, which is another Division I opponent that we play against regularly. At the D2 level, Chesapeake is making a name for themselves. They went to the Nationals last year and had a good showing. So, it's really just about getting out there and making your product better. It's so much talent in this DMV area, man. I'm originally from Philly, and everybody from Philly thinks Philly's the best at everything. But the DMV area is so rich with basketball talent on both sides, men and women. And I think the Maryland Juco coaches are doing a better job, on both sides, by the way, are doing a better job of getting out there and getting this talent. Because there's so many good Jucos, in Texas and Kansas and Florida that steal a lot of our DMV talent. And if we can try to keep them home, that will make our programs a lot better, and I've had success doing it.
No doubt. Let's say, you have an incoming freshman, whether they're highly talented or not. What do you demand of them coming in when you first talk to them?
My first question is, are you in love with the game or do you just love the game? Because it's a big difference, man, and especially with girls, sometimes they tend to fall out of love with the game, and I demand that all of my players are in love with the game of basketball, because to come here, to come to Harford, if you're not in love with it, it's not ever going to work, because we demand so much out of them day in and day out. That's on the court and off the court. You know, our grades are the same way. We graduated 9 sophomores last year. Graduated. You know, so it's a job. You know, it's a job, and what I demand out of everybody that comes in the program is that you're in love with the game. And that after that, I can handle everything else as a coach.
Okay. You lost a hell of a backcourt last year. With Deja Harris, Danielle Durgent, who's at Towson right now. I know you can't really replace them, but how can you fill that void, so to speak?
You know, I told my assistant coaches this year we're not going to say the names Deja and Danny at all this year. You know, I go through withdrawals sometimes, man, because those 2 kids were special.
Yeah.
You know, they were special, and to be honest, going into the spring after our season concluded, I didn't try to replace them. I didn't try to find another Deja Harris or find another Danielle. I really just tried to gain as much talent as possible. Okay. You know, I got a really stud freshman out of the PG County area, went to Parkdale High School, Brielle Palmer. I was fortunate enough to get some Division I transfers. We have a few sophomores that returned that are really good. So, you know, I tried to adopt the philosophy, strength in numbers. You know what I mean? Let's try to get as much talent as possible and see how we look afterwards.
One guard that caught my eye watching y'all doing y'all Maryland Juco championship run last year was she a sophomore now, was Adrian Jones. She had a strong run. She really kind of came into her own. What do you feel she need to do to keep that momentum going this year? Now that I'm assuming she would be in a more of a leadership role.
Yeah, she was named captain a couple days ago. She's doing everything possible to lead this young group of girls. We have 13 true freshmen in our program this year, and it's so good to have a kid like Adrian Jones who's been there, who won last year, and what she's doing this year, man. She added the element of going to the rim. You know, last year she was really just a spot-up shooter for us. And all summer long, she didn't even go home. All summer long, she was up here working on her game every single day. She has 3 or 4 Division I offers already. I'm excited with her leading our group this year.
Okay. Ryan Holder and, am I pronouncing this right, Danya Red?
Mm-hmm.
All right. How dangerous can that combo be up front?
Well, Ryan committed to Towson yesterday or Sunday evening. She committed to Towson. For a Juco kid especially, to commit early, you know, she has to be pretty special. You know, because a lot of Division I programs they recruit Jucos late. You know, when everything else fails, they'll come to a Juco. A lot of people saw the talent in Ryan. She was a UMass transfer, was A10 all-rookie team. She came here. She just didn't fit with that new coach up there that they have, and she just wanted to change the scenery. And we were fortunate enough to grab her up, and she had 5 or 6 offers in the preseason. She turned down some heavy hitters. She turned down Seton Hall. She turned down St. Joe. She turned down a lot of heavy hitters to go to Towson, just because she wanted to be closer to home. She loves the Baltimore area. So, you know, we're lucky to have a kid like that.
Okay. My final question to you is, what will it take to pull off the magical trifecta, so to speak, the Maryland Juco, Region 20, and NJCAA championship this upcoming season?
It's going to take a lot of hard work, man. You know, we have the talent. The one thing that I thought we were lacking last year was depth. We are deep, 2-3 deep at every position this year, and we're so much longer and athletic this year than we've ever been. So, you know, we have the talent to do so. We have the scores. You know, it's going to take some luck. You know, whenever a team wins a national title, you know, the stars have to align the perfect way. You know, and then you have to do your part when they align. So, you know, I think we're doing our part right now, and hopefully the stars align for us, and we come back home with a national title.
All right, Coach Seney, quick question. I heard you, you know, one of the things that you mentioned when Cardell was asking you a couple of questions, and it stuck with me immediately, got to writing it down, was 13 true freshmen. And the style of play that you have, does that make it easier sometimes when you have freshman period to adapt to that style since it's a ton of running?
It depends on the day. It depends on the day. You know, it's a good thing that we have the freshmen that we have that are all so much in love with the game of basketball that they're all sponges. You know, none of them have played this style. That they, you know, the quick pace. You know, we demand of our team at least 90 field goal attempts per game. You know, we demand of our team that 30 of those 90 have to be 3-pointers. So they all have to adjust to that style. You know, it's not just playing fast; it's also playing fast while also under control. You know, so every single day, man, it's a fight. You know, to try to get them to understand how we play and to be successful and how we play. And it's tough some days, and some days it's not so tough. You know, it just that's a part of having freshmen and all the inconsistencies that go along with having so many freshmen.
Coach, he said 90 attempts a game, and 30 of those 90 3-point attempts.
Buckets. God.
My goodness, just from a practice standpoint, outside of running, just I mean, like condition. Well, I'm sorry, I can't get words out because I'm still trying to process what you just said. I mean, the last couple of years, how much more conditioned has your team been to their opponents?
I tell you what, in the national tournament, the Sweet 16, we lost to the number 1 team in the nation. They wound up winning the national title, Gulf Coast State College.
Mm-hmm.
They have a Hall of Fame head coach. Her name is Roni Scoville. At the end of the game, he came up to me and said, "Coach, I've been around this game for 30 years, and I've never seen a team as fast as you guys." And that stuck with me, man, because we condition so much. I mean, even our drills are conditioning. No, just our regular basketball-related activity drills are conditioning. So, you know, you have it's a training aspect. It's almost like you're training a dog. You know, when you first get a puppy, you know, you just have to train them until they're sitting, and sometimes they do tricks. It's about training their mind to understand that this is not only how we play, this is our lifestyle. Everything quick and aggressive. Our transition drills, every single drill we do has to be in 10 seconds or less. You know, so at the end of the day, by the time November, December comes and we're mid-season in January, in the second quarter, the other team is tired and we haven't even hit our gear yet. You know, so it's fun because me personally, I think the women's game in general is going this way. You know, just because it's a lot more fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I was fortunate enough to be around basketball a lot growing up, and like I said, it's just watching some of the Mike D'Antoni videos and watching him speak allowed me to adapt this style of play.
All right, you mentioned where the women's game is going. We had another historic WNBA Finals. Did you get a chance to watch and how much did you watch?
Of course, I watched darn near every dribble. I'm a huge LA Sparks fan. I'm a huge LA Laker fan too. I think Cardell knows that.
Yeah, he told us. We might have heard it.
I told my team actually, and everybody was like, you know, Candace Parker, she's the GOAT, she's this and she's that. I'm like a huge Candace Parker fan, but it was like, remember the end of the Kobe era when, you know, everybody kind of accepted Kobe was the GOAT, but LeBron was the best player in the league. Maya Moore is the best player in the league. You know what I mean? And to me, that was the difference in the series. You know, don't get me wrong, Sylvia Fowles was dominant, but when you have a scorer like Maya Moore, man, I thought that was the difference in the series, and that's the reason why Minnesota won.
All right, Cardell, you have anything else for Coach Sweeney?
Nothing, man. Just tell Alonzo stop ducking that wreck with De'Aaron Fox, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Hey, man, how did I know you was
Come on, man. Come on,
how
man.
How did I know you was going to break that
Call LeVar, tell him to suit him up. It's game time now. No more of this. Come on now.
You know, mind you, us Lakers fans know Lonzo had been out a week prior to the De'Aaron Fox game. I mean, we'll see when it's really time to strap up. We'll see.
We already saw. What you talking about?
Everybody likes to bring up that 39-point game De'Aaron Fox had, but we forget the game in December when UCLA went into Kentucky and Lonzo led them to a win. Get that game, but it's cool. I get it.
I'm just saying, which stage was bigger though, the tournament or regular season game?
You're right.
Hey, Coach Seney, we want to thank you so much for calling in, man. And again, I'm still trying to wrap my head around some of the numbers that you shared. Now, I'm not gonna lie, like I couldn't put words together because, I mean, just
that'd be a fun offense play. Buckets,
dude.
So man,
you guys got to come see Cardell, man. I know you saw last year with those two amazing athletes we had.
Yeah.
But this year, man, we're so amazing across the board. You know, we don't have those two studs anymore, but we're so amazing across the board, man. I think we're going to break even the records we set last year because our second team could easily compete for a Maryland Juco title. Our second team.
Y'all looking like so y'all on that Warriors, so Golden State Warriors this year.
I would like to be. I would like to be.
Oh, you know I'm gonna be through. You know I'm gonna come through.
Man,
I know so. I appreciate you guys, man, and support. I really do.
No problem, man.
Thank you. Have a great night, Coach Seney.
You too. Bye-bye.
I want to thank Coach Seney from Harford, Juco calling in and.
Buckets, man.
Dude, like I
My
can't.
arms hurt just thinking about it.
Hey. But he said, okay, so 90 field goal attempts a game, right? And 30 of the 90 are threes. Like from an analytics standpoint,
you just hoop, no, just break them down, dish.
And
shoot,
I'm just
you got 10 seconds.
Look, but I'm just thinking, like even on transition, because like in WNBA, we're getting used to and in the WNBA too, getting used to in transition, people sprint to them corners. If he's asking them in 10 seconds or less,
no, they just running. That's the problem. Like, if you ain't in shape, it's over.
Like, make, miss, and different, we running.
If you ain't in shape, it's over.
Good gosh. Like, for opposing teams, like, you can't run with that if you're not training that same way, you can't.
And I love what he said, because that's how I work out my youngest. Like, make your drills conditioning.
Yeah.
Like, it should be always conditioning, because I look at the full court, and when everybody tired, like, the better conditioned athlete, they going to perform.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? So that's when it really shows. So, yeah, I mean, his philosophy works. You know, the results speak for themselves.
It's just remarkable. But you watching The Focus. Don't go anywhere. We still got the last segment of the show. Well, 2 segments. Pop the Trunk is back this week. And, oh, boy, Rapid Fire, too. You watching The Focus. We're going to be right back. Welcome back to The Focus. Welcome back. So Pop the Trunk's back this week.
Yeah.
And all I got to say is I was so happy that I was blessed to see this live, to watch. You know, just you go ahead and I'll chime in afterwards, man. You got this.
Man, look, the Pop the Trunk is back. Mr. Jeff Green, local guy. Hoyle.
Uncle Jeff.
Look, he dunked on Mahimi twice. The first one was like, okay, you expect that from an NBA player and had Mahimi dunk. But that second one, when he was literally above the square, paused, and dunked on my man. I mean, when I say the whole arena lost it, the whole arena, even the Wizards lost it. I mean, the Cavs, everybody jumped off the bench. LeBron said he had a hurt ankle. He was the first one on the court holding everybody back, celebrating. When I say he baptized, homie, when he baptized him.
I mean,
was it a sprinkle or was it a?
No. It was a dunk, held under for a little while.
And it was all him. He didn't even, like, normally guys that elevate, they use momentum, use their arm to kind of elevate over him. Nah, it was none of that. He just bumped, kept going up, flushed on him. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it definitely might have been a real Pop the Trunk. I'd have went straight to the parking lot. It was embarrassing because come on.
The worst part is he was so high to jump, like the initial jump, like his get off was so high. He took the contact and dunked on him on the way down.
Yeah.
Like if people see, like, you had a few great shots of it. Again, if you catch a couple of it just when they actually, like, the contact happens, Jeff's on his way down.
Bro. I mean, Mahimi's legit 6'11".
Yes.
And like I said, his arms was at his torso, like his fingertips was at his torso. That's how high above the rim he was. And people think you exaggerate, but I tell people when I got the shot,
outstretched at that, like.
And I told people when I got the shot, he was actually coming down.
Yeah.
I really wanted to get him at the peak, so you could really, like, he was, if the backboard was here, he was like right here from the backboard, the ball was, and I'm like, and then left-handed, he's a right-handed player. That's what makes it even more crazy. So I mean, he shut the gym down. I was like, oh man, he was just, it took a while for everybody to get their bearings, man. Like, you gotta be professional. You ain't supposed to show which side you're on. I'm a basketball fan. Look, if it's a good play, it's a good play.
From a pure basketball standpoint, it was worth the price of admission that day, especially with, players that people came to see not playing. Jeff Green definitely put on a show in that little sequence right there. Man, that's a great way to kick off Pop the Trunk on the NBA season. Shout out to Uncle Jeff. That being said, y'all know what time it is. It's rapid fire. So, Cardell, what you got for us this week?
So much to talk about, man.
So much.
Too much to talk about.
Man. We're going to start with the NBA. Start with something like Joel Embiid signed a 5-year deal worth $148 million. Is he worth it?
Excuse me.
Come on, you a Philly fan, be careful. It's like, nah.
Maybe eventually. But to me, he ain't been healthy long enough for us to really, really know. Like, don't get me wrong, his talent is definitely there. But, I mean, already? Like, but, I mean, like we always say, the cap's going up. They got the money to spare. If they feel like he can be part of the franchise and keep him there, I mean, I get it. But me personally, I need to see a whole complete season of you not being injured before I'm just shelling out millions and millions and millions of dollars. But hey, they got it, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely with you. I think everybody is in agreement that we'd love to see more from the kid because we haven't gotten a chance to see. We haven't even got to see 50 or 60 games worth, right?
Exactly.
That being said, with some of the money being thrown around, I don't really fault them because when he's been on the court, that's a special talent. We would like to see him on the court. I feel a little bit more better about it knowing that some of the protections that are written in with the contract, like the cap protections in case he gets hurt. But, I mean, the end-all be-all, like, none of this means anything until he's on the court consistently. But I don't hate the deal.
I mean, to me, they had to do it, obviously, pushing that trust process, whatever. I mean, definitely, ideally, 31 games, I think, in his career.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not ideal, but, the flip side is this guys that play 82 don't even do what he did. You know what I'm saying? They getting paid a lot of money, so play every game, don't do nothing, but they getting paid a lot of money. So, but, you can't risk him somehow getting healthy, like say he get healthy and another team can come and get him.
Yeah.
And then you answer a question like, you told us all these years trust the process, and then you let him go. Now he won a championship. Like he could easily, all he got to do is stay healthy. He's the best big man in the league, easy. You know what I'm saying, for how he impacts both ends. So, definitely when I would have did the contract, it would have been some out clauses like, you get hurt, you don't play these X amount of games, I need that money back. You know what I'm saying? If you get hurt and your career is over, we taking a big chunk of that back. Yep. We could work out something. You can work in an organization. You know what I'm saying? You can get the water. Help the players
Be a
out.
special assistant.
Hey, but work with the post players. But no, just to go all in and invest in that, I think they're smarter than that. But they have to bank on it because this is what they've been waiting for. Yep. And that young core is so talented. They finally got something for the first time since the AI days.
Yep.
And if this young core can come together, they will be dangerous quickly.
And that's why I can't fault them for going all in on it.
The feds.
You struggle through all this. There you go.
The feds.
For that. So I mean, hey.
Dallas Cowboys on it. Jerry Jones said he has an anthem policy. Said it's not new, but it is new. Said that the league needs consequences if you choose to kneel. What are your thoughts?
I mean, the NFL, Adam Schefter posted something earlier today that NFL did send something out around the teams essentially the result is every team has to stand. They're pretty much got a rule, trying to get a rule in place now like the NBA, that everybody has to stand for the anthem. That magically came out of nowhere this afternoon. So we'll see how all this plays out because we still haven't seen a response from the NFLPA, or at least I haven't since I've been in the studio today. I mean, we already know what all this is about. It's just sad watching all of it happen. Again, Jerry Jones and some of these owners, the president shouldn't have any say over what the league is doing. And we can tell, with you saying something is obviously has some effect here. All of a sudden, 1 week you were kneeling with your players or hand in hand, not even 7 days later, it's don't do it or none of my players are going to do that. And again, it's saddening at the beginning.
My thoughts really is it's all about the money first and foremost. They starting to realize that some of these, investors and partners and all these people are starting to think, well, maybe I'm gonna pull my money out of this, and they don't want the money to go anywhere. So that's the number one reason why this is happening. I think it's ridiculous, obviously. Like you said, the last week you were kneeling with your players. This week now it's something completely different. It's sad when Jerry Jones will protect abusers and people that do drugs and people that hurt people and shell out all this money, all these lawyers and everything to make sure that they can play on the team. But if somebody on his team does a silent protest and kneels during a national anthem, he's ready to sit him down, not pay him, not play him, whatever. Of course, the stat everybody is talking about is, the NFL is 70% black. If half of the people decide to take a stand in any type of way, they can make some type of difference. Although I'm not a huge Dallas Cowboy fan, of course, but I definitely hope, and I'm not even saying this out of a malicious way to have people not play just so they can be bad or anything like that. I hope somebody does take the initiative to actually call him out on it. I know it's a big decision because a lot of them, that's their livelihoods, but, how is it to play for somebody who doesn't respect you as a human? So I guess it just goes back to what people value and what they decide they want to do with their lives, but I just think it's ridiculous.
Well, for me, like you said, it's definitely about the money. Even when you say, players get in trouble, he get the lawyers and all that, it's about protecting his investment. He don't really care about the player. He's also shown that he still don't care about the player. It's about his bottom line. That's all he sees. And even when he took that kneel, it was people really strongly arguing, debating, like, you see, he really cares. He's just trying to bring unity. I said, man, see me in 2 weeks. See if he still feel that same way. And ain't none of that's going on. It's just sad that this, the blatant disrespect to what the cause is, the whole point of the kneeling is just still going on. Like, they really don't care. And that's why I'm trying to tell people, like, it's pointless to even keep bringing it up. Just keep fighting. Because they don't want to hear you. It's nothing you can say to somebody that don't want to hear you or believe you or don't want to see what's really true. If they really fighting it, it's a waste of your energy, waste of your time, waste of your breath. It's just to keep moving. But that don't mean you stop fighting. And actually, I just believe that the NFL players, the black players, it's that time. They need to unite and just everybody just strike, don't play. And then we'll see who's powerful. Because, see, the owners, they making money off the backs of the players. Like, people playing, tuning in to see them. They don't care about the owners. You know what I'm saying? So, everybody on the outside fighting for these players. It's time for them to man up. Jamel Hill losing jobs and stuff like that. Hell, we speaking out, we saying stuff. Hell, it's probably people who wanted to maybe come in and sponsor us and all that. And they like, nah, we ain't touching them. It's just people taking L's for them. And right now it's only a handful across the league fighting.
I mean,
it's sickening. And I bring up a story back in the day when the NBA, how they got their free agency and everything. They came together, all the players, even the white players, Jerry West and all them too. You know what they did? The big thing was the All-Star game. LA. Everybody came through. It was gonna make a lot of money. It always does. They came to the locker room. Big old Jerry West, Bill Russell, and I'm like, oh, we ain't playing. What you mean you not playing? We not playing until y'all give us free agency, approve these contracts, improve some of these conditions. We're not playing. And we know you need to play because guess what? The TVs are here and everything. You know what I'm saying? They about to broadcast it. So it'd be bad to say that because y'all gonna lose a lot of money. Guess what? Owners, they fought to the last minute. Players in the locker room chilling, Elgin Bay, all of them. Guess what? They came back and gave the players everything they wanted. That's why, when you see some of the players in the NBA acting the way they do, it's like, homie, y'all have no idea what those older players fought for. And then once they signed off and got what they wanted, went out and played the game. And they competed, do what they had to do. The NFL players have to do that. They cannot just sit back no more. And even if someone might take it, hey, another, because in the long run it's gonna benefit you. And I wouldn't even just stop at like, the injustices and everything like that. Get what y'all really want. Guaranteed contracts. Like really fight for it. Like this is the time. Because don't nobody want to hear you crying about all that if you ain't willing to fight. If you just sitting there safely on the sidelines and everything, everybody got to unite. They got the numbers. They can reach each other. Twitter. Hey, make it happen. And we'll see how not just call Jerry Jones bluff, call all the owners bluff.
Yeah.
You see how big and bad they are then when all those people out there, and straight, don't even show up. Don't even let them know.
Yeah, the last minute. Just
Yeah, don't even show up. Don't even waste your gas. Be at home, be like, let's see if they play. Get some people out the crowd to play. It's gonna be hell. It's gonna be revolt. Thinking then,
And when people start pulling their money out,
that's what I'm saying. Because people that worship money like these owners, they do whatever they need to do. They do whatever they need to do.
checks coming in.
Then they gonna be like, what do y'all want? This is what we want. We want. Here. All right. Because right now they looking at them as slave, high price slaves. But that's how they treat them and talking down to them. It reminds me like that's the tone. Y'all out of line. Get in place.
Yep.
Do what we tell you.
I mean, that's
talking to
essentially
grown men, man.
Look, that's essentially like they try. Like again, you guys can get on Adam Schefter's Facebook and read that letter that was sent to the teams today. I mean, they dressed it up in some nice language, but essentially was like it's an anthem controversy. You know, we all need to unite and respect this. But again, going back to exactly what you said,
Look, man.
It hasn't been about that from jump.
Look, man. I'm tired of people telling other people who haven't experienced what those other people been through
Yep.
how to feel about that experience. Don't tell us about uniting and everything. It's no unity out here. Let's be for real. Like, it's dumb. Stop. That's a slap in our face. That's disrespecting us. You telling us to basically just turn the other cheek. We not turning the other cheek. It's over. No, we not. Listen, we tired of it. We not taking it. We trying to be nice. I'm just keeping it above. We really trying to be nice, you know, because if it should defend, y'all will lose. And I'm talking about physical hit defend. I'm just keeping it above. Y'all will lose. So stop playing games. All we asking for is respect. We ain't asking for no handouts. Police, when you pull us over, check our ID, see what, don't kill us. You know what I'm saying? Can we get this job and not be overlooked and stuff like that because we black, or you know, or woman, because she a woman, she can't get this job or something like that. She can't fill this position. It's
Or
just,
if she get it, she don't get paid.
thank you. If I work hard and I'm doing great business for you, can I get a raise? And you know what I'm saying? Like basic, all we ask for basic stuff.
I don't know, just like respect on value. Like
Thank
it's
you,
crazy,
man.
just simple human decency. But we probably got time for 2 more questions, man.
Big Ben after throwing a career high of 5
Boy.
interceptions. Question if he still has it. Should he ever retire that all season?
I'm gonna say yes. It's painful to watch now. I feel like every time he moves, like it hurts. Like he's a big guy at that. So yeah, I definitely think it unless it gets drastically better fast, which I don't see honestly. I think it's about time.
He came back and took the bag. You was talking about retirement last year as a contact sport. So when you start talking about it, you know, you heard a lot of people talk about it, people liking it to boxing. When you start thinking about retiring, you're retired, you know, because what you physically have to go through. And again, the way that he plays, which is pretty much all off of physicality, just standing there taking L's in the pocket, it's real reckless, rumble-tumble style. You know, and the thing that bothers me the most, you had the nerve to call out somebody else on your team last week. Then you go out and throw 5 interceptions to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I know everybody has bad games, but you had no problem hopping up on your soapbox to say all these things 2 weeks ago, and you played bad 2 weeks ago. You've been playing bad this entire year. You have one of the most fully stocked cupboard of weapons in the NFL at your disposal. Antonio Brown, arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL. Martavis Bryant, when healthy, you probably can't name 5 to 10 more that, you know, he's in that conversation as well. Le'Veon Bell, one of the top 5 backs in the league. Your offensive line isn't horrible. Right now, it's literally just you. So I get you trying to be facetious with the media and everything else. I don't have time for that with the stuff that came out your mouth the week before. You should have retired. You came back. You took a bag. I don't want to hear any of it.
If your heart isn't in it, any field, anything in life, you shouldn't do it. It's simple as that. Real quick, couple more. Kobe Bryant said he would kneel. No, I'm not even going to go that route. Dolphins offensive line coach Chris Foster was seen snorting a white powder in the video, and he resigned on Monday. What the hell?
Well, maybe if they stop worrying about people kneeling, they can worry about their coaches, doing stuff like that. So that's crazy. That's wild. And he recorded himself. Come on, bruh.
All I know is I remember a video got put out for Laramie Tunsil the night of the draft that somebody else put out, him with the bong, and everybody went DEFCON 5 immediately. Horrible human being, poorly raised kid, everything else. This is a grown man, not a 22-year-old. This is a grown man.
And this is a white substance.
And that's the other part that's killing me.
It wasn't
like,
sugar.
How do we pick and choose? Again, and I'm talking to our media brothers and sisters here. How do we pick and choose some of these headlines, man? White powdery substance, really?
Man,
We didn't waste any time. We saw Larry Tunsil in the gas mask, and immediately we know exactly what it was.
It was a white powdery substance. We're not sure what it is. We have to take it to the lab and get it tested.
We're not quite sure. It's not
what it was.
not conclusive.
Crack.
Last question.
Mike Dick has said on Monday Night
gosh.
Football that he does not see all this systematic racism, and there has been no oppression in the last 100 years. Y'all,
Is he blind? Do we need to check and see if he has CTE too?
that might be it.
Look, I saw like a great tweet today. So apparently, Mike Dicker and Emmett Till would be around the same age.
Yeah.
One of us is here, one of us is not. Be quiet.
Because of that.
Stop it.
Oppression.
Just stop it. Like just stop.
Because of that oppression.
And I wish I could remember who put out the tweet because I hate doing that. But one, it was a great tweet. But seriously,
I mean, the Civil Rights Act was passed around the time you won a Super
and
Bowl.
you said 100
I mean,
years
the
or something.
championship.
And then secondly, why are we asking people with issues things?
That's how I feel sometimes with Barkley. Yeah, that's how I feel sometimes with Barkley.
They need to
I just
check
don't
his
get that.
head
Like,
out.
you know, Mike Dick is like kind of off, anyways. So let me go ask Mike Dicker. What?
You get what you asked for, man. Get what
You
you
know, it's
asked
about the
for.
clicks and the views and the viewership. Get that ad money. It's money, man.
Oh, that's crazy. Just like going back to what we talked about at the game the other day, like the Laker Post Bleacher Report had out with
Oh, Katie and Russell teaming up next year in 2017. Yeah.
Come on, guys, let it go.
Like, we gotta stop this, man. But we want to thank you guys for tuning in, man. We'll be back same time, same place next week. Thank you for watching The Focus. As always, get over to finestmag.com, get over to mymountainsports.com, and right here every week, tune in to The Focus TV.